And the reason that I bring this up today is because there's a game show on television called Big Brother House. And I've watched it in times past, and I started watching it this year. Well, this year is the first time I remember that there is a young Orthodox man on the show. And he wears his kippah, and he says his prayers, and he honors Sabbath, and he eats kosher. But he also is lying and deceiving. And he has said that himself in an interview on YouTube. When he was asked about it, he said, well, haven't I lied from the very beginning? He's deceiving the other house guests into believing that he is a shoe salesman instead of a podiatrist, a foot doctor. The reason he explains that he does this, which I can understand, is because they try to vote off people during the 2 months or so that they're in this house. And the one who is left wins $500,000. Well, you don't want to pit yourself towards the end of the show with someone who is smarter than you are. So they try to get rid of the smart people first. But this house encourages deception and lasciviousness or fornication, sexual deviance, because they have usually 5 men and 5 women. They're all in one big bedroom. They all have one big bathroom to use. So they see each other half naked. They see each other sleeping. And even in the case of this season's show, they see this couple making out all the time. And it's not a good position for a devout person to put themselves in, especially when it causes them to lie and deceive, because Torah says thou shalt not bear a false witness. It's somewhat understandable if you lie as an accident. You say something you think is true and you find out down the road that it isn't. But in this case, he has concocted this lie in order to have an advantage at winning the $500,000. And it may be one thing to do it in front of a small group of people, but he's doing it on national television. There are millions of people watching this show. And once in a while they have call-in questions, and the last call-in question was for him. Can you continue in this show with the lying and deceiving? And he said he did not have a problem with it. Okay, what kind of a message does that send? We're Orthodox, we eat kosher. We're Orthodox, we keep Sabbath. We're Orthodox, we lie and deceive. I don't think that's the kind of message that he's wanting to send to the world about the Orthodox community, because we know it's not true. The Orthodox community does not believe in lying and deceiving. And if he had asked his rabbi before he went on this show, which I don't know if he did or not, surely that rabbi would have told him this is not a good idea. Because not only is it going to reflect on you and label you possibly as a hypocrite, but it's going to reflect on the Orthodox community as a whole, to millions of people who may not know what the Orthodox community is about. What their window into the Orthodox community is going to be through you and what you do. So you have to be very, very careful about what you do and what you say, because it's reflecting on your people as a whole and on other people's understanding of them. And that brings up a major problem that we have, especially in the Messianic community today, because we have so many people coming in from Christianity who do not understand what Torah is all about. They even have been taught in the past that Torah has been done away with, that it's not pertinent to today, you don't need to keep it. But yet they wear kippahs and they wear tzitzit, which to the people around them represent being Jewish. Well, if you have no understanding of what being Jewish is all about, and you go out there and you dress yourself like a Jew and portray yourself as a Jew, you're going to start showing people the wrong idea of what Jewishness is. This can be very damning. It can be very damaging, because in the past, programs have come upon Jews because people have misunderstood Judaism and have thought it was a religion of gaining as much power as possible, gaining as much money as possible, trying to control people, and it even went into the tales of bloodletting and the whole kit and caboodle. which are all misconceptions. And those misconceptions start with just one little thing sometimes, and they build up. And I'm saying, Andrew, on Big House, you're opening up a kettle of worms here by making that one little thing, that lie and deception, can cause people's attitudes towards Orthodox Jews to be a very bad one. I'm not an Orthodox Jew. I really don't have to worry about it as far as that goes. But being a Jew, I'm very, very concerned, not only for you and the condition of your soul, of course, but also for your people. I'm Jewish, but I'm Messianic. And we don't always become as strict with the physical as the Orthodox do, but our more greater emphasis is on the spiritual understanding of Torah. But I'm very, very concerned about this young man, because what he does today may affect his people years and years down the road. And to have all these millions of people watching this going on, it can be a very, very bad situation. And I'm not saying it to criticize him individually. I'm just concerned about him, because the Brit Kadashah, the New Testament, asks the question, what will you give in return for your soul? What price do you put on your soul? Is it $5,000, $10,000, $500,000? You have to be careful what you sell your beliefs for. It can damage a lot of people, a lot of people. So I'm praying seriously that this young man will come to his senses and get off that show. Already I've seen a change in his facial expression, and I know that he's being shown that this is not the right thing to do. And I pray that he will remove himself from that, because besides showing the world a misconception of Orthodox Judaism, he has put himself in a position of temptation. All around him are young men and women who are doing sexual things, who are showing lots of body parts and so on and so forth. That's what gets the audience. And he has put himself into that. And it can be very, very hard. He's a single man. You know, sooner or later, these sexual innuendos are going to start playing on him very heavily, and he's going to have to withstand the pressure of all that testosterone moving around in his body and trying to control it. And I really feel sorry for him. And I just pray today that he will remove himself from this show and get back to the community from which he came and which he belongs. Have a good day. Shalom.